We're taught to measure value by what we can extract, how fast it grows, how quickly it pays us back. But nature doesn't work like that. Some of the most important things on this planet take hundreds, even thousands of years before they reach their full size. I've always loved trees for that reason. They ask us to think beyond our own lifetime, to plant something knowing we'll never sit in its shade, but someone else will. And when you start thinking like that, your idea of success and legacy begins to change. Now, I've just started recording here and I've got Californian redwoods behind us, and I'm in Scotland. This is a Châtellerault country park, and we've actually got quite a few Californian redwoods here. And this is why I wanted to start talking today, because I love being about trees. You've probably obviously seen me walking. Here's a couple of other trees in there in the background. So you see me just walking about in the forest and stuff. So I was like, right, let's do another wee video talking about the trees. And basically, they're like humans, they're like statues, like better than stone statues. Like that kind of line there I said about people plant trees knowing that they'll never be in their shade when they're mature. But that's a statue in itself, because obviously when we think of statues, we think of stones, like the pyramids, etc. But for me, trees, especially slow growing trees, are like statues. So in California, because of habitat loss and kind of climate change and stuff, there's not as many California redwoods as what you'd expect. In fact, the UK has actually got more planted California redwoods than California. Now, the redwoods, they survive with in coastal regions when it's really moist. They need a lot of rainfall, a lot of moisture, a lot of water. They collect that water, that moisture from its pine needles. So obviously in California it's starting to get a lot drier and stuff, whereas in the UK we've got that kind of mild climate where we get it from the Gulf Stream that comes from the kind of the West Indies, etc. So is it the West Indies? They get it from the Caribbean, the Gulf Stream. So yeah, in the UK, we've actually got a lot of planted, I think it's a couple of 100,000 planted redwoods, or giant sequoia trees, whatever way you want to name them. Whereas in California, I think it's estimated 90,000, or you can see in the background some more. So I think they're absolutely stunning, and when you stand next to them, I so just want to go to California to see the old growth forests, the ones that you see of cars driving through the actual trunks of them and stuff like that. So yeah, that's one on my bucket list, is to go to California and to see the giant redwoods. So yeah, in Scotland we actually have, or in the UK we actually have temperate rainforests. 2% of the forest cover is a temperate rainforest. Now, a temperate rainforest is just classed as where it's got a lot of moisture, and obviously the west of the UK with that Gulf Stream, it's very mild winters and not so dry summers, so it's always kind of got a really heavy rainfall and lots of moisture, and that's where lichens and mosses thrive. So that's kind of classed as a very healthy very healthy temperate rainforest conditions. Sorry, I just got interrupted there. Yeah, so I was just basically chatting about old kind of growth, slow growth trees, and how like just standing underneath them, I don't know, like there's just something about it. A lot of people kind of say that there's a thing called forest bathing, and that is just going for a walk in the forest and breathing in the oxygen that the trees kind of give out, and just being out in nature in general. Obviously you see me doing these chats and walks along the forest. It just kind of clears your head, especially when you're kind of going through different things in your head, like as in, for me, you've kind of obviously noticed that I've been trying to work things out on my head and figure out what kind of like person I am or I'm becoming, and like from that was just recognizing like when I was aligned, like looking back on the past and like kind of unpacking everything. So for me, like I always just like coming for a wee forest walk. Now here at Châtellerault Park and other kind of stately homes, what I've kind of found is you have a lot of like kind of, especially the ladies of the manor and stuff, they've always liked to kind of plant gardens or seedlings from all over the world kind of thing. So when you go to these places, you see a lot of like kind of older trees. Now it's been like a couple of 100 years. I think I did talk about it a wee bit on the Scotland video, but like a good couple of 100 years ago, there wasn't stocks and shares where people put their money. So when people actually had a lot of money, they invested it in like old buildings. That's why you see all these kind of old stone buildings, and we just don't build like that anymore. And you're like wondering why. It's like they're stunning. And then the same as there's a lot more parks, like especially around kind of richer kind of cities. Like Glasgow was actually the second city of the empire. Obviously the shipbuilding stuff. But as I said, like if they've not got anywhere to put their money, they were investing in parks and nice big buildings. And I don't know if it was a kind of competition thing to say, check Mhathing out. But like us, our generation, have got the benefits of it. I think down in England, me and my wife, we did a few tours of just going to different parks and like old stately estates, and they're just absolutely stunning. Like lots of old growth forests, and like we're getting the benefit of it. Now that's kind of where I'm kind of wanting to go in as well, like as in the kind of business ideas that I've got, or where I feel as if the direction we should be going as a kind of younger kind of generation. Like as I said, the last kind of topic, the last video I was chatting about was about finding something that you're aligned with, and recognise that every single person have got different archetypes, and to try to figure out where you fit in, and not just like because some person says that I'm aligned and doing this, that then you should be doing the same. We should all figure out individually what we're good at, what makes us thrive, what makes us passionate, and then after we find that out, then find a job or something that aligns with us, so we can be happy and joyful. As I said, like a couple of videos ago as well, I was saying about for some reason I only got up early for my own work, but I never got up early for myself. Whereas now I'm like, no, I'm going to get up early, I'm going to come for nice walks and do something that's nice. So if we kind of couple that kind of concept of getting up for ourselves, but then do our job that we're aligned with, then we can like do things that, do you know what I mean? For me, like I would love to build estates or do volunteering work. I think I've actually talked about it with the Trees for Life volunteer work, that they basically, you can go with them for a week, they put you up accommodation, give you food, and you go out and plant trees and stuff. Now I think that's a really cool idea, but I want to add in my own version of it, as in do a bit more of a kind of men's retreats with it, or even like, doesn't have to be men, a mix, that we get up early, like 6 o'clock, we do exercises, we could do like cold water therapy, what is it called, the sauna as well. Actually, me and my friend are going today. We're doing cold water therapy and the infrared sauna, booked it at 12, so that's another wee thing of just saying yes to things. But yeah, like I was thinking that we could couple that up, like as in get a group of people, nice healthy breakfast, do a bit of exercises, go for a nice walk, do things for yourself. Remember I was saying about that mini day? Split your day into 3 mini days, like and split, what is it, from 6 in the morning to 12 in the afternoon, so that's 6 hours. So split them 3 hours for yourself, 3 hours for work, and then between 12 and 6 another 3 hours for yourself, another 3 hours for work, and then at night time just do between 6 and 10, so 2 hours for yourself and 2 hours for work. So it gives you 8 hours of work, 8 hours for yourself, and then 8 hours sleep. So it's a perfect like kind of wee day. So that's what I'm thinking, that like let's design and build something like a volunteer group, that what we do is we do, right, between 6 and 12 we've got 3 hours for ourselves where we do exercises, eat healthy, go for walks, have chats, do yoga, do stretches, like, and then in the evening we could do like salsa or samba or like get some music out and stuff. But then we've also got like time to, do you know what I mean, plant trees, plant redwood forests. I've got this other cool idea that I'm like, I'd love to, it's called a celebration forest. So if you had, like, say for me, like a kind of plan to buy an estate or get partnership with somebody to get an estate, and then yeah, like do this volunteering work or whatever, or like we do planting forests, and then people can come and stay. You've got glamping pods and stuff, but then for people's birthdays or celebrations, you've got like a garden centre or like you're already got trees that they're growing, and then people can buy a tree and plant it for their birthday in a forest, like, and create a celebration forest where it's a mix of all these different trees. And you can tag them and have it all online of where you planted your tree, what year it was planted, and then you can keep coming back and see it grow, and then your kids can come back and see it. That's when my mum and dad planted that when they're doing 5th year anniversary and stuff. I just think that's a really cool idea, because it is planting for the future. And then like our generations, our kids, our grandkids, they'll be like, wow, that's a really cool idea that they've planted a forest for like to celebrate, commemorate their birthdays and stuff. So yeah, like as I said, like I've got loads of cool ideas that get inspired when I just come out for wee walks. Looks like a wee bit of a cool wee waterfall. It's all like moss and lichens and stuff. I would love to obviously find as well some people that are passionate about old stonework, and then do old stone buildings as well, instead of just doing the usual brickwork houses that we live in. I mean, like, was it Elon Musk is building, like he's built a company of tiny modular homes, more affordable homes. Now I think the way our society is going, it just people can't afford to buy homes and stuff nowadays, so we need to do something about that as well. And this is where my idea about building communities in the kind of old, like, as I said before, like a bit like the North Coast 500, or yeah, bringing back communities that once were, and then yeah, if we kind of couple that with what I'm kind of proposing of finding out what people are aligned with, creating jobs for them. So instead of creating a job and then apply like advertising for people and then they come to fill that role, it's like, well, why don't we work with people, find out what they're passionate about, and then create a job for them? So just kind of turn it on its own, turn the system round. Yeah, and just kind of start thinking more future orientated kind of ideas and like businesses, rather than just looking at our past and conforming to companies that is already there, where we clearly see that it doesn't work. Like, society is going downhill. Like, there's a lot more people with mental health issues, there's less jobs, there's AI, there's everything that's taking jobs away from us. So it's like, and then the cost of living shooting right up, and like you can't even afford to go on holiday and stuff, and can't afford to enjoy yourself. It's like, we need to create a life where it is like a holiday, or we are enjoying ourselves when we're working, and that only can be coupled with doing a job that you're passionate about. So this is like, for me, the struggles that I've had for the past 9 years of being out of alignment, of just not being able to like kind of function properly, going through depression, having this like heartbreak with my wife, and do you know what I mean, watching like my dad like just not enjoy life anymore and just want to die at the end of it. It's like, to go through that kind of to see society like deteriorating, go through the kind of pain, the kind of doing the shadow work. Like, when I've done the gene keys, it kind of says that one of my qualities of my archetype is it's like transmutation, I think. So it's, I need to experience like pain or suffering to understand it, to unpack it, and then to have ideas of how I can progress. And as I said, I did this conspiracy theory where I got lost for 3 years, and I just felt that everybody in the world was evil. And then I started just seeing loads of problems in the world. But then I projected it, well, I felt like a pendulum effect, and looked at it like a yin and yang, and I projected it forward. So still get embarrassed when people walk past. Yeah, so like I felt like it is like a pendulum, so you project it forward to the opposite. So if there's people in the world that are like, kind of, you feel as if they're evil, or they're just out for themselves, then there is the opposite. There is people out there that want to do good for the world, for society, for nature. Like, I'd love to like do restoration and river systems and all that as well. And there's like maybe like possibilities of just starting new industries, especially the way AI is going and all the rest of it. There's going to be loads of jobs like basically not being available anymore. So then where's all these people? Like, we're still increasing the world's population. Where's everybody? What kind of jobs are people going to do? We need to create new industries. Why can't we just create an industry where we clean up the river systems or clean up the forest systems, and do you know what I mean? Maybe have like a massive big trust fund or something that would just generate loads of money, and that the interest from that pays people's wages. Like, there is going to be systems like this that needs to be brought online. And like, as I said, from that, going down that conspiracy theory, just looking at the world's problems, I projected it forward. And then now, because I choose to just look at I don't want fear-based news. I just look at kind of more better kind of ideas and news. And so yeah, like I feel as if I don't look at problems anymore. I see solutions, and I try to figure out things that align with myself, as in, do you know what I mean, come for a wee forest walk and start researching stuff about that. So yeah, sorry, I've probably spoke quite a lot again, but there's another wee thing I was wanting to say, like in like I think I touched on it, like about these like people that have a wee bit of money back in the day, but they just built like buildings or nice parks. But there is like people that built communities, schools and houses, and for people that worked for them. Now that's kind of similar ideas that I want to do, as I said, like build communities. And do you know what I mean, like Disneyland, do you know what I mean, Disneyland is a massive area, but everybody just knows it as Disneyland. Do you know what I mean? So there's people, there's communities there, there's other things there that people just don't think of. So you could just build a massive company in, or like kind of amusement park or a golf club or something, and people just notice that, but you've actually built a community within it. So yeah, there's a lot of potential. So yeah, I have positivity for the future. So I've spoke a lot today. I always end up just chatting. I'd love to be able to bring on other people and chat to them and do a bit of a kind of podcast or whatever with them. But I'm going to leave it there. So, Slanjiva guys. Ciao.